All right, so you perhaps are trying everything. You have tried coaching, you have tried biohacks, you have tried 5 in the morning routines, you have tried meditation. Of course, you go to church, you do all the right things, and still you feel that you're leaving the chips on the table. You are not achieving the level of success and traction that you hope for yourself, that you expect out of yourself. I'm here to tell you that you're not broken, that you have what it takes. You just haven't been given the right information. That was me over a decade ago. I knew my capabilities, I knew my potential. Still, I will fail constantly through ups and downs. I will, in paper, look successful and I will look like I was going to places. But inside of me, I knew I wasn't achieving the level of success that I was able to do. Today, I want to show you what the key changes you can make and understanding why. Understanding the environment is so important so that you can become the person that you know you already are, but you are not expressing. If I say the word expressing, I can't hold myself from going back to epigenetics, which is that you know who you are, you know your genes, you know you have what it takes. The definition of epigenetics is your genes plus the environment equals who you are right now. It's that simple. And epigenetics actually means above the gene, which brings me to the fact that the environment is above your genes, is above who you are born to be, is above your DNA. And that, my friend, is something you probably haven't heard before. The environment. Now, when we look into behaviors, into meditation, into routines, into habits, 99% of the advice in this website, in many other websites that you're seeing this, fails to admit the environment because they focus on the lifestyle and on the behavior and the biohack, in the thing that you can do, but it really doesn't address the environment. From epigenetics, we know that it is above your genes. So how come we're not paying attention to it? That might explain why you feel resistance, why you feel friction, why things are not coming effortlessly, why you are getting stuck, why you are not achieving traction. Things are a lot more difficult when we are in misalignment with the environment. I want you to understand that over, let's say, 1950s, there was this concept developed, the iceberg behavioral model by Carl Jung. And he explains that only 5%, the tip of the iceberg is what you can see. 95% is below. And that 95% has been debated. But what reigns true is that most of what you can see, most of what you're conscious, that tip of the iceberg is minimal compared with your subconscious, with what is below the water. That expresses and shows that we don't control as much as we think. Even though you're focusing and watching this video right now, any sound that happens around you, every little bit of movement, every single lighting change that happens, you're paying attention to it. Why? We have survival instincts within us that are constantly reigning our brain. We have different parts of our brain. Most of the environmental cues that we absorb are in what we call the primal brain, which is the first layer that is here to allow us to survive. It literally has little conscious manipulation to it. It happens for us to survive. A lot of the cues that we get from the environment are absorbed in that place. An example would be the lighting. The lighting is absorbed by your retina, which is sent to your suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is inside your primal brain. All that happens without you paying attention to it, without you deciding, without you even realizing it's happening. But your body is paying attention to all the environmental cues that exist. What is interesting is that those environmental cues are constantly changing. So perhaps that might explain why, if you found your rhythm, maybe a month later, maybe a week later, maybe a season later, maybe 6 months later, you're out of rhythm, you're out of sync with the environment. That's why. Because when you're in alignment with your biology, with your circadian rhythm, things come easier. You feel healthier, you have more energy, your mood is enhanced. You are in complete alignment. You are stronger, faster, physically, mentally. You are connected. Relationships come easier. You're more attractive. You can say you're vibrating at a higher frequency. You absolutely are. But when you are in disrupt alignment, then things take friction. There is resistance. So how can we achieve alignment when we are not even aware that the environment has an effect on us in the first place. Well, that's where you were before you watch this video. This is going to turn the table, and now you're going to be aware. Look around and realize that this current environment deserves its own routine, meaning a set of habits combined to achieve a flow in your day, a flow in your week. Behaviors that are repeated, again, that will make it a habit, but how you stack them, how you time them. They might be the same behaviors or very similar to the one 6 months from now, but the timing will have to change, absolutely. The intensity might change as well. The quality of those behaviors and what you actually, the way that you perform them. An exercise might be exercise all year round, but the way you perform that exercise should be adjusted to the environment. Why? Because your metabolism changes, your hormone production changes, whether it's timing, quality, quantity, percentages, cortisol being produced differently than melatonin throughout the year. There are ratios that we play with, and they change in a repeatable pattern. This is a cycle, a yearly cycle that repeats itself but changes. Well, my friend, I'm here to guide you and to help you understand that at a deeper level. It's not your fault. You are not broken. But before you start applying hack after hack, before you start committing to routine after routine, look around. And if you're looking for help to shortcut that, because I will tell you it takes time. It took me a decade to get to a place that I can tell you that I'm a seasonal expert. I truly understand the patterns of the seasons and how they change and how we can leverage them. We use a multitude of sciences and technology to, number one, understand who you truly are. Any hack, any advice that you see on the internet, without knowing who you are, it has a 30% chance of landing well on you and a 70% chance of failing, because we're different. We can group ourselves in phenotypes, but we are many people, we're many different genes. So you want to know who you are, and then you want to be an expert in your environment. When you achieve those two, you can create a routine that is specific for a season so that you can leverage everything that that season has to offer. What used to be a challenge now becomes an opportunity. And that, my friends, is what I'm here to guide you with through the seasonal movement. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe so that you can continue to deepen your understanding about how the environment, the seasons, how your non-conscious processes brain you, so that you can turn them into conscious and so that you can leverage and achieve more with less effort. Thank you for watching. Look at the description. We have many resources for you so that you can increase your awareness and you can get plugged into our communities. We'd love to guide you through this seasonal journey. Thank you so much for watching.